Good morning and welcome to my FlossTube channel. I'm Celeste and this is Celeste Creates, a channel about cross stitch, some quilting, and some fun things that might get thrown in every now and then. It's been about 2 weeks since my last video. I usually like to film on a Wednesday morning, but that just wasn't going to happen this week. So here I am, it's Friday morning, and I'm so excited to be with you today and share with you what I've been working on. A few little finishes, not much haul this week, which is surprising, and at the end I will announce the winners of the giveaways from my last video, so stay tuned for that. I just want to begin by saying thank you to everyone who has liked my videos, subscribed, but most of all commented on the videos. It is probably my favorite thing so far about filming a FlossTube video is getting to read your comments. Y'all are just so kind and so thoughtful and encouraging, and it's always fun to see the different connections with different people, whether they grew up nearby or you know, my son is in college in Kansas and they know where he is, or just so many different connections, and just feel like, you know, this is a wonderful community to be a part of. And so again, I thank you for everyone who commented, and it was really fun to read the comments, because I think with my giveaway last time I'd briefly mentioned that you could possibly put all 3 words into one sentence. And so it was really fun to read those comments where some of you managed to get the words ice cream, tomato, and needlebook all in one sentence. So that was really fun to read as well. A little bit of a life update. I want to thank everyone, especially I know I probably posted on Instagram in between my last video and now, as we were preparing for the possibility of a hurricane, Hurricane Laura, here in the Houston area. And I just thank you so much for all of you who offered up prayers and kind words as we prepared for that. It is always a game in a way to see what's going to happen. How bad's it going to be? Is it going to make a turn? I lived 20-25 miles from Galveston, so from the coast, all my life. So I'm pretty used to it by now, and we kind of know the drill, but it's hard to make those decisions in the end. And we're so thankful that Laura did not come ashore closer to Galveston and Houston. But at the same time, our prayers have just switched to praying for all those people in Louisiana who were hit by such a big storm. I haven't seen one here in a very, very long time like that, and it is so destructive. And so just, if you can, join me in praying for all those affected by the storm in Louisiana and elsewhere. It's not fun. I've been through that. I've been through hurricanes with not that much damage. 3 years ago, almost to the day that Laura came ashore, we flooded in Hurricane Harvey. Hurricane Harvey didn't come ashore in Houston. It came ashore closer to Corpus in that area. But as the world knows, from that time, Houston was affected by the flooding, and so it's a long road to recovery, whether you flooded or had the damage from, you know, the hurricane winds. It's a big deal, and so while I'm thankful to not have to go through that again, my heart goes out to those people who are suffering through this time, and double suffering in that they have to endure the trials of trying to clean up and rebuild, all with the craziness of 2020 and COVID. So again, my prayers are going up for them. We are finished our 3rd week of homeschooling. Like I said in a previous video, we've been homeschooling for a very long time. My oldest is in college, My daughter, who is 17, is a senior this year. I have a 15-year-old who's in 10th grade, a 13-year-old who's in 8th grade, and then my youngest is 10, and he's in 5th grade. Sometimes I have to think. So we've had a great first 3 weeks. Things are a little different. We don't have our co-op this semester. And so we're just trying to figure out how some of our outside activities are going to look this year. But all in all, a great first 3 weeks. Every year is different. Every year something changes. But I've been asked, how do you do that? How do you homeschool? And honestly, it's by the grace of God that I'm able to do it, and I'm thankful for it. But just like anything, whether you leave the house to work every day or anything like that, you get up, you start the day, you say a prayer and do what you have to do. So after this many years, it's easier, but there's always new challenges. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing to get to be with my kids and to watch them form relationships together. So also just my son up in Kansas, they're trying really hard to keep that campus open at Benedictine. So if you can offer a quick prayer for that campus, for that wonderful, wonderful college where he is, that'd be great. I'd appreciate it. So let's get to some finishes. I have been a busy little stitcher the past couple of weeks. I saw something recently that was asking, are you a goal-oriented stitcher or are you a process-oriented stitcher? And I guess that applies to my quilting too. And I would say that in a way I'm both. I think sometimes at the beginning of a project, it's more of enjoying the process and watching it unfold. But sometimes when I get to where I'm close to the finish and I can see the end and it's all coming together, I find that I get very goal-oriented and really want to stick with that one thing and just stitch on it until it's done. That's the case with my most recent finish. I finished it on Tuesday. I was expecting an order on Tuesday in the mail, and so I think I had posted on Instagram that, okay, I gotta finish this before the mail comes today because I want to start the next thing, and I did. So this I had been working on, and it's just absolutely one of my favorite little pieces. I'm so thankful. These two charts were a loan from a sweet, sweet lady, Instagram follower and fellow stitcher. So I just thank you for lending me those charts, for your generosity. And I just had so much fun stitching them. I'm sorry, but you cannot get these charts anymore. I'll insert a picture of both of them here. One is Ida Mae Crow, and the other is her brother or husband, can't decide which one, Ira Ray Crow. And one of my sons said, well, how do you know they're related? I said, well, they have the same last name, Crow. Anyway, so you can't get them right now. I've had a lot of people ask, and so maybe someday. They're by the Good Huswife, and so I'm hopeful that maybe she'll republish them someday or make them available. So anyway, here is my finish. Ida Mae Crow and Ira Ray. Here's a little more of a close-up of Ida Mae in her cute little dress with the polka dots. I think that was the first thing I saw online, was her in her dress, and I thought that is the cutest I've ever seen. Then I realized there was her companion, Ira Ray, and they're two separate patterns, but I decided to stitch them together, facing each other, on this same piece of linen. This is a 36 count Weeks Cocoa linen. It's the old Weeks, not the Zweigart base. It is a little looser and softer, but this one wasn't, I was okay stitching on this. I enjoyed it. I think I've had one other piece of older Weeks that I didn't enjoy stitching on, but this one it was good. I liked it a lot. And the color, I mean, it's kind of hard to see. To me, it's much darker than this in person. But golly gee, I fell in love with that. And it just turned out perfect. So it's not a very standard size. I'm not going to make a pillow out of it. I do want to frame it. I have an idea for finishing it, so I will see if I can make that happen, and hopefully in my next video I'll have it all done, because I really want to have this out for fall, so for fall decorating. So I've seen so many of you starting to decorate for fall, and I'm so jealous because I just can't do it yet. It is still so warm and summery here, and it doesn't feel like fall yet. My son asked the other day, I don't remember which son, but he said, when does fall begin? And I said, well, the first day of fall is in late September. And he said, well, no, when does fall begin? And I said, oh, when does it really start here? December. So oftentimes that's true. So come October 1st, I will pull out the fall stuff and put it out, but I'm not there yet. So I might get down in the 80s next week, so I'm looking forward to that. So that was my finish, and I also had an FFO that I will insert a short video clip right here. We pause your regularly scheduled FlossTube to insert this update. I'm sure it looked different than in the video this is inserted into. This is I've been doing school and working and cleaning all day look, not my first thing in the morning going to film a floss tube kind of look, but I did want to film this early so that I could show you the fully finished piece that I did for my mother-in-law's birthday. Y'all seen me working on the stitch piece, but I got it all done. But I will have gifted it to her already by the time I film and post FlossTube number 4. So here it is. This is the ice cream sundae that I stitched for her. And I'm forever forgetting if this is Little House Needleworks or Country Cottage Needleworks. I'll leave it down below. Anyway, ice cream sundae. I think I showed it to you all stitched in the last one. And then this is the finish. Now, this is such an odd size that I knew I probably wasn't going to find a frame for it. So I took it to Hobby Lobby with me, and I did look for a frame, but there wasn't anything. So I found this piece. It's kind of from Hobby Lobby, something that you mount. You can see I had the little mounting, or the hanging bracket was here, and I put it here. And the back, or this part right here, the wood, was black, and it had a saying on it. And but for 50% off, $6, I brought it home, painted the background white, and there you go. Laced this onto foam core, and went ahead and hot glued it. Didn't do the magnets, hot glued it so it would stay, hopefully. And I'm not big on bows and ribbons and things on my personal stitch pieces, but this really said my mother-in-law to me. So Celeste pink, and she loves ice cream, and so here we go. All right, now for my items that I've been working on in the last 2 weeks. Of course, I probably will show you this every single week until it's done. The Consider the Lilies by Beth Twist at Heartstring Samplery. I made some more progress. I think I had finished up here in my last video, and during the next these last 2 weeks I moved down here to this bottom left quadrant, so I really don't, it's not that big because I'd already made it to the house and that blue flower. So over these last 2 weeks I was able to complete these little flowers up here, the bird, a little yellow flower, and then another urn with those flowers. Again, this is Consider the Lilies. I know some ladies are working on it on Sundays. They hashtag Stitch Lilies on Sunday sale, and I will use that hashtag, but I tend to work on mine pretty much every day. Although those days I was working on Item A and Ira Ray, I didn't get any work on this. So again, here it is. It's big, it's beautiful, and I have stitched this on 36 count flax. Yeah, and I am using all the called for DMC, and so I'm very, very happy with it, and excited to finish sometime soon and find a place, a really special place to be able to hang that in our home. Let's see. It's always kind of a mystery when I go through my bags, and oh yeah, this is a good one. I had bought this pattern. I think I showed it to you last time. You've all seen it. I bought this on my trip to Heart's Desire in Wichita, Kansas, because I finally got to get a good look at the pattern. I loved it, but I didn't want to buy it because I think I may have said this before too, but it says Manor at Quaker Hill by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And I think I said last time that I hadn't wanted to buy this before I could look at it because Brenda oftentimes will have a lot of overone in her patterns, and I can do it, but that's just not my cup of tea right now. And so I was really excited that this one was pretty much all over 2 with a few specialty stitches. I think this grass is like a satin or a straight stitch, and then there's a couple others, but no over one that I could tell. So I started that in the last 2 weeks, and it is just stunning. I'm so excited to be working on this. Let's see. I am stitching this beauty on 36 count French Vanilla by R&R. I am just in love with that color. So sometimes, like you say, can't quite see the color, but there's my progress. It's just beautiful. A friend of mine had said it's just so so feminine looking. The vine and the flowers are just beautiful. So that's my progress. So French Vanilla by R&R, and then there are the called for. These are the called for colors. Classic Color Works, Week Star Works. I'm sure a little Gentle Arts in there, yeah, and maybe a DMC or 2, and they are just so beautiful, just really gorgeous. I feel funny looking through my arm. So there's that. Really beautiful. So I look forward to working on that some more. I couldn't decide if this should be part of my sampler September because it's not really a sampler, but I may work on it anyway. So my next whip actually kind of bridges into my plans for sampler September, and as well as haul, because it was one of the things that I had finished ordering over these last 2 weeks. So here is what I ordered, and my first start for Sampler September. I ordered this book for the holidays by Blackbird Designs. As I started thinking about Sampler September, I contacted my friend, fellow Texas stitcher, Liz from Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch, both on Instagram and here, her FlossTube channel. So I contacted Liz and I said, shall we do something together for Sampler September? So we tossed around some ideas and we arrived at stitching Christmas Garden out of that Home for the Holidays book. By Blackbird Designs, and this is nothing new, right? But I just think it's beautiful. I'm so excited to work on this. So we each kind of have different plans for Sampler September, but we both decided to start this on September 1st together. She and I tossed around ideas. We shared fabric choices and floss choices. It was a lot of fun. And you are welcome to join in. We're stitching it together. We'd love to have you stitch along with us. If you are going to stitch it and you are on Instagram, please feel free to use the hashtag September Christmas Garden and follow along with us and show your progress. Even if you've already started stitching it a long time ago and pick it back up, I'd love to see your progress on the that hashtag. So it took me a little bit to decide how or what colors I wanted to do. So let me show you what I came up with. I decided that I wanted to change the red and the green to be just a little bit truer red and green, I guess. The Calico Kitty that is called for in the chart has a lot of variation. It's a really pretty red, but it almost tended a little more toward an orange or a rust color in my opinion. And I wanted something, especially with the red, I wanted just a little closer to a Christmas red. Not bright and not that color of red, but a Christmassy red. So I changed my red to Classic Colorworks Cherry Cobbler. So pretty. And then I also changed the green from Endive. Instead of Endive, I decided to use English Ivy. So beautiful. And I kept the Gentle Arts Heirloom Gold. I'm getting some glare there. The Heirloom Gold that's called for. The color I had the hardest time with was this Fool's Gold. And it was just a matter of, you know, what linen and do I use this thread, what linen do I want to put it on. So I played with that for a bit, and Liz and I talked, and I talked to Christy at Crosshatch Quilts as well. And the linen I was originally hoping to do it on was just a vintage country mocha, and it just didn't show up well on there. But I really wanted to use a linen that I already had. And so I decided, instead of changing the color, because I really like the way that the Fool's Gold goes from a gold to almost a silver. It's not a shiny silver, but it gives that look of silver. And in the pattern, if you look at it, it's used a lot in these parts right here, these motifs. And when you look at the picture, the Fool's Gold just has a really neat silver quality to it as it switches. So I decided that I really wanted to use the Fool's Gold as called for, and so it was just a matter of picking a linen that I felt like would look really good with all of them. So I had Winter Moon, and you can see that they show up really nice on all of them, or all of them show up really nice on this Winter Moon. And so that's what I decided to go with. It may have a little, that's pretty true to color. I think that's nice. It's not as white maybe as it's showing in the picture. So, okay. So Winter Moon, 36 count, and here's my progress. And I'm really, really happy with the color choices so far. I love the border. It's just beautiful. So there we go. So join in the stitch along if you'd like. Christmas Garden by Blackbird Designs. September Christmas Garden is the hashtag if you want to follow along. And so this is my first part of my plans for Sampler September. When I heard of such a thing as Sampler September, I was pretty excited. I was telling a friend yesterday that you know, as you do any craft or I don't know, all kinds of things. I know it's happened in my homeschooling journey as well, or my reading or whatever. You journey and you kind of figure out what you like, and then over time sometimes your tastes do change. And I figured out that I'm two people. I'm one person in my quilting. So in my quilting, I tend towards bright colors, vintage, 40s, 50s. Just, I love color in my quilts. I love color in my decor. And then I found so far with my stitching, I don't tend toward the brighter or the cute, not cutesy, but cuter types of patterns or charts that may actually look more like the things that I quilt. I really am drawn to the antiques, the samplers, the just the things that look older. I love those. And it's not a surprise. I grew up with a mom who loved antiques. We would finish our chores on Saturdays and as quick as we could, and then all head over to the antique mall in our town. And my mom called it, we'd go antiquing. And that's what I grew up with. And so I love antiques. I love vintage pieces. I use my old things, I use my old dishes. It's not a surprise that I love the older antique looking charts that have some history. I love history too. So anyway, I'm a bright, cheerful quilter and a old antique stitcher. Anyway, I was really excited about Sampler September because I do love all the samplers. So my plans so far, and these may change, I already work on Consider the Lilies almost every day anyway, so that's going to continue to be my focus piece in the mornings. I usually work on that while the kids are always quietly, happily doing school. And so I will continue working on that in the mornings. And then in the other part of the day, when I decide to pick up some stitching, for a while here, it's going to be Christmas Garden. We started that one, and I want to work on that one for a while. And I thought what I would do is start with Christmas Garden on the 1st, which turned out to be the 2nd. And then a week later, I would work on a sampler whip and make that my afternoon kind of focus piece. So if I continue to decide to do that, then my next piece to work on would be to pick up next week. I would pick up my whip Martha Davies by Chessie and me. I chose this one. I have several samplers going, but I chose this one because I feel like I have made good progress. I love these colors, and I feel like I could get a lot accomplished this month if I worked on this one. So if I decide to pick up a whip next week, then it will be Martha Davies. And then after that, I'm just not sure. If I decide to start another sampler on week 3, then I would start Merry Christmas by Blackbird Designs. I have the flosses ready to go. I have the pattern, and I'm hoping either for my birthday or with some birthday money, I can buy the sanguine linen. I think it calls for sanguine. No, it doesn't. It calls for abecedarian. But I thought the sanguine would look really, really pretty. And so week 3, this may be another new start. And then week 4, I'd originally thought that I would pull out another whip, but I'm not sure right now. So stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram, #SamplerSeptember, and from Senorita Stitches, also Sampler September Soiree, or is it September Sampler Soiree? Sampler September Soiree. And I believe she's using the soiree hashtag for reproduction samplers, and then just plain Sampler September for any other samplers you're working on. So those are fun to follow and see what everybody's working on. So to be continued. We'll figure out what I'm doing. So yay for Sampler September. I'm on board and excited. All right. Next, I have just a couple items of haul. One of the pieces of haul was my Christmas garden. I found this pattern from Annie B's Folk Art. Autumn is a second spring. And just loved that. Loved the house and the vine. Just a really beautiful chart. So I ordered that. And I'm not sure yet. I'm not even sure if I'll get this worked on for this fall. And I'm not sure if I'll do DMC or what's called for. Again, it might depend on birthday money. So I bought that. And then if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I bought a couple of charm packs, 5-inch squares for a quilt. They just were, it was a beautiful line, and I think I even said this is so not my quilting person, the bright colors, but it was just beautiful. It kind of said fall to me, just very classic, and I decided to buy a couple of charm packs and do something with those. So it's a line from Moda by French General, and it's called La Rose Rouge. I did not study French. I studied Spanish. So I think that means the red rose. Thank you, Google Translate. And I am just combining the charm squares into these little hourglass blocks. Super easy. Kind of trying to do a contrast of a light and a dark or darker. So I have them all paired up over here on my cutting table, and it's just a really easy block to put together. So this will be something small that I can drape on a chair, or I'm not sure what yet, but I will let you know what happens with that. Before I move on, I have to show you something. A lot of times, this is my cutting table, not my cutting table, this is my ironing board right here. And when the kids are doing school over there, I sit here and work on Consider the Lilies. And but I'm short, and my chair has to be up high, and my feet don't touch the ground. And so my fourth child, Michael, my third son, fourth child, made me a little stool. I said it doesn't have to be perfect, just something to put my feet on. So he did that, and so I keep it under my my ironing board here, and it's just perfect. I can put my feet on it and be comfortable. So last video I had said that I would do a giveaway, and I had 3 items up for auction, for offer. And so thank you again for all your comments and subscribes and likes. I really appreciate it. I can't believe it. And so I did the random comment picker thing. And so I got to choose a winner for each of these items. And so I'll show the item here, and then I'll insert a screenshot of the winner. So the first item is the Ice Cream Sundae pattern from Country Cottage Needleworks that I did, that I stitched for my mother-in-law. So I am passing the stash here, this pattern, and the winner is the next item was this needle book that I made. I've had several questions. I will have some more of these for sale at some point on Instagram. Somebody had asked, is this a pattern? No, just based on my sewing bags and things for years. I kind of just put it together myself. So there's the inside, has a zipper, for a little zipper pocket for your scissors and a little spot for your needles. And so the winner for this needle book is and then the last item that I had for giveaway was my tomato that I made. Again, I had a lot of questions about this tomato. These 2, I will have some on Instagram soon for sale. I have them cut out, ready to go. And no, I did not use a pattern for this. This is my own little creation. So I think I will do a tutorial about how to make these. So you can either buy one from me on Instagram, or I will do a tutorial, if that's what everybody would like, on how to make these. Super easy, lots of fun. So I think that might be coming in the future, a video for the tomato, and then later, because it's very much like the way I make my pumpkins, I can do a pumpkin tutorial as well. So look for a tomato tutorial coming, and also some for sale on Instagram. And so the winner for this little tomato is So congratulations, winners. I'm so happy to share those items with you. I will leave my email in the box below, and you can email me your full name and mailing address, and I will send those to you soon. All right, before I go, I have one more thing. I thought every once in a while it might be fun to share a book recommendation. So my 3 favorite things to do are quilting, stitching, and reading. So I love to read as well, and so I thought, well, it would be fun, you know, every once in a while to share a book that I love, or whether it's a classic or something I've recently read. I love historical fiction. I love especially historical mysteries. I do like the Regency period, but I like current day, some of them. And then I tend to get stuck in the historical time period from Victorian era to like the end of World War II. That's probably my favorite chunk of time right there. So a lot of the mysteries and things that I read are from that time period. But today I will share with you my very favorite book of all time. And if you haven't read it, I'm assigning it to you. Brenda and Laura, what do they call it for their stitching? They call it marching orders. Well, here's your marching orders for your reading. So here's a great book to read for the fall. My favorite book ever. Oh, it's red, is Rebecca by Daphne DuMaurier. This is a new copy. I had an older copy, and I've read this multiple times. Absolute favorite book ever. I don't want to give anything away. It's just, it is a classic, and a little mysterious, and very just beautifully written. So this is a new copy I had bought for myself, because my other one was one of those I don't know, 1980s paperbacks that were a little smaller and harder to read. And anyway, I decided, since it was my favorite book, I deserved a new copy. I bought this one on Amazon. Really pretty. It did have a dust jacket on it, but the book itself was so pretty, and I'm not big on dust jackets, that I got rid of it. So anyway, Daphne DuMaurier wrote Rebecca. Favorite book, and actually my favorite movie too, with Joan Fontaine, made a long time ago, 40s, 50s. So once you read the book, you're allowed to watch the movie. And in the fall, I was gonna cancel our Netflix subscription, but this fall they're doing a remake of Rebecca, the movie, and so I kind of got to hold on to Netflix until I see the remake of Rebecca. That is all I have for you today. I just thank you so much for joining me. I know I get a lot of enjoyment from watching FlossTube myself. I feel like some of you, my favorites, new discoveries, I just feel like you're kindred spirits, and I enjoy spending time with you. Fun to have someone to share stitching with. And so I just thank you for joining me here, and for subscribing, and for just coming along for the journey. And so I just pray you have a blessed next couple of weeks. Enjoy your September stitching. I can't wait to see all your samplers, and just thank you again. Till next time. Bye.